So you were saying you kind of didn't really know you were called into ministry until your first year of Vanguard. So what was kind of your plan before that?
Yeah. So I briefly mentioned I wanted to go into business. I actually, my plan was to actually go to Ethiopia and open up a business there. That's what I wanted to do. And I honestly, I think it's still there. Yeah. I'm not as passionate as I was back then about it. Yeah. But just the love to maybe go back, whether it be Ethiopia or anywhere else, or even here, just to open up a business would be something that I would love to do. Yeah. And so that's what I wanted to go into. I was wanting to go into business and just open up my own, shop and stuff like that. And it was not until CORE, the intensive discipleship program, came about and, enrolled into Vanguard. And I remember it was first year of creative communication. So learning how to communicate creatively, I guess. And so I never really understood that class, to be honest with you. I was just like thinking about it like, okay, what did I take from it? No, I took a lot from it. It changed my life. But I remember the prof. I remember where he was sitting. I remember everything down to the T. There was a guy named Aaron Johnson who was sitting right beside me. And we were just talking. So this guy was reading, the prof that is, was reading John 21. And it's the story of when Jesus is reestablishing Peter into ministry, because Peter just denied Jesus, 3 times. And so Jesus dies, resurrects, and then, they're out at the lake and Jesus is cooking some fish for them, right? And gives them bread. And so Jesus asks, like, Peter, do you love me? And so I was like, yeah, I love you. Okay, go feed my sheep. Do you love me? Okay, go feed my sheep. Do you love me? Okay, go feed my sheep. And I remember when he was reading that story, I felt such a deep calling from the Lord saying to me, if you love me, Sam, go feed my sheep. And that's when I realized and understood that I was going to go into full-time pastoral ministry. Wow. The Lord after that told me to quit my job, which was insane because I made a vow to myself to not pay for school. Like I was not going to take out student loans at all. Yeah. So I was going to work and I was going to pay off school, all my classes. Yeah. And so I'm out here like, God, like, why? No, I need to have this job in order for me to pay for my classes. What am I going to do? And remind you, this is after he calls me a pastoral ministry. I'm serving in the church and the pastoral leadership come up to me, long story short, and they asked me, hey, we have seen you and we really want to ask you if you could oversee this youth group. I'm like, no. What? That sounds crazy because who am I? Like, I don't know the first thing when it comes to being a pastor or anything like that. Yeah. And so it was after that where, Lord convicted me. It was like, yeah, you're called to this. You've let me go feed my sheep. And give it about probably a couple months later, they're like, hey, we're coming up to you again because we want you to be the lead pastor of this church. And again, I'm like, no. that sounds daunting. That sounds like, I don't think I could do that. I'm not equipped. I don't have the skill. I don't know the first thing about pastoring. And they're like, yeah, we feel like you're called, and the provision just came in. Like, I'm telling you, I got the job. They started paying me. Not only that, but there would be like checks coming to me just out of nowhere. Wow. And it would supply and provide for me in order to pay off school. And so now I'm graduated, no debt at all. And it was that initial moment where the Lord called me. And I just knew from that moment on, whenever the Lord calls you to something, he'll always provide. Amen. Always. And so, yeah, that's kind of the background story of, the whole pastoral ministry there. Yeah, for me. Yeah.
every like pastor we've talked to, there's this like step of faith that they take, which is kind of insane to the normal, or I shouldn't say to the normal, to the everyday person. It's like, what are you doing? You're leaving such a great thing, but what God has in store for you is something greater, right?
Exactly.
There needs to be that initial sacrifice for that greater thing to come.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. It's just one of those things that if you want to step into all that God has called you into, it's going to cost you certainty. Like you're not going to be completely sure of what's going to happen in the future. And it's just that initial faith where it's like, okay, you take that step and it's like the Lord provides, and then you take another step, the Lord provides, and that's been the journey. So I completely agree with you in that. It's just a step of faith. Yeah.